You feeling alright from the soundtrack? You comfortable?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's all fairly simple. Just me and the banjolele and a few beats. It's simple enough.
Paying attention. So here it is. I give to you, ladies and gentlemen, 30 years of hip-hop history in 5 minutes, featuring myself and my banjolele.
Interesting is at the beginning, you start like with Rapper's Delight. Why? I'm like, why not Grandmaster Flash? I'm like, is that where your hip-hop journey began yourself? Or?
Well, I mean, really, Rapper's Delight was the very first hip-hop single. There was King Tim III, which was a Fat Back Band track, which was a B-side, which people are saying was really the first ever released hip-hop thing. But, you know, it's almost, I suppose it's a history of recorded hip-hop, really. Obviously there was Flash, and there was Cool Herc, and African and Barter, and Grand Wizard Theodore, and people like that. But they didn't release any records until after Rapper's Delight. Rapper's Delight was the first hip-hop record.
Let me smoke my pipe! Have mercy, Mr. Brown. I hope you don't mind. Well, won't you please let me smoke my pipe? You see, I'm lighting it now. What are you going to do about it, sir? You, sir, are an absolute driveler. Excuse me.
A lot of the comments, people are always saying, yeah, the ukulele sounds amazing. The banjo sounds fantastic, because it's kind of played over such like almost contrasting cultures of music, really.
Absolutely.
You know, the typical kind of almost quite stereotypical view of it. If someone playing the ukulele is chilling out on the beach, maybe the sea coming in slowly, not over heavy hip hop beats. You know, like,
No,
what made you think of putting these two together?
Obviously, I've played the ukulele or the banjolele for 10 years or so now, and I've always been into hip hop and funk and things like that. And the way the banjolele plays, there's no sort of sustain on it. You can't really play lots of very nice sort of notes. So it's all quite choppy. So it does lend itself quite well to those kind of funk riffs and things like that. The very kind of quick, choppy playing, which seem to work very well. And people, like George Formby, was almost played in quite a funky way, even though it was, from the 40s and that sort of thing.
Straight out of Surrey, a gentleman rhymer named Mr. B, friendly with chaps with an air of mystery. When I'm poised to be sad, I've got some moist shag, squeeze it out the pipe and declare it as a voice brag. Be super if you dined with me. The constabulary popping for the swifty, it off my hat. As I pass you when I'm going out, Grecian 2000 on my tash seems to be greying out. Please don't grumble, try to act humble. You embarrass yourself when you bumble. Going on about your mother like that.
As well as talk about YouTube comments earlier on, yo, Banjolele, it seems to be a massive hit.
Banjolele.
Banjolele, sorry, my apologies. Banjolele.
It's an easy mistake.
Is she your she, trusted companion?
Well, let's call it a she, shall we? I don't know what the missus would think of that, but yes. Yes, no, definitely. I always take either a banjolele or a ukulele away with me, wherever I go, really, if I'm working or not, because it's. Yes, you're never alone with a ukulele.
Whatever happened to Timothy? I was at prep with him, you see. We used to call him Spaz. Now he's on our Chattington house. He was a whiz with a cricket bat, but he never used to talk like that.
Understand, Westwood says, don't write dirty, write big.
Like we said, you're from Surrey. Do you think that in your music you're bringing in that southern swag? With the beats, the rhyming, the hip-hop. But you've also, of course, you said you've got your accent as well. But, do you think you're getting in a bit of a northern soul, you know what I mean, with a bit of the funk and a bit of the kind of the casualities, bringing them both together?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Especially with hip-hop and Chap-Hop particularly, I'd say, is there are no limits to what can be done with it, really. I think that's why the people who love hip-hop, because it is a broad church, unlike how many people view it, who just think it's just, nonsense, sort of shouting bitches and bling type thing. Whereas it's actually a very, very broad thing. It can take in also, funk and northern soul and then all the way back to George Formby.